Hey everybody, welcome to a new video here where today we're going to be talking about sandpaper and why you want the expensive good stuff and not the cheap garbage stuff. So now a lot of times when we do this Autobody sanding, kind of stuff, we don't really want to spend big bucks on sandpaper like this. This stuff here is about $2 a sheet, I believe. And when you buy them by the hundreds, it really adds up. This stuff here we got on sale at a Tractor Supply store for about, 50 cents a sheet. So it's about a quarter of the price. But when we use this stuff here, we'll show you. All right, we got our sandpaper all folded up here on our sanding block and we'll start sanding. Now we'll just do our regular old-fashioned, crisscross kind of pattern here on this corner on the high build. And you can see right away, that's within a few seconds, it's just completely, galled up and full of junk and kind of useless. All right, now we've got our good sandpaper here, 400 grit as well, just like the last stuff. And we'll just sand this side. Same kind of motion, same pattern, sanding the same high build primer. Got wood and block. And now, obviously, we've still got some gumming here after about the same amount of time as, expected. But we can easily just kind of knock that off. Same as we did the other side, but this is still much better, not nearly as plugged up and, garbage as the cheap stuff. And we can carry on our way sanding like that. So that's kind of why we tend to use the good, high quality, expensive sandpaper, because even though that stuff's a quarter of the price, this stuff will last, 10 times as long kind of in the long run when you actually figure out how, quick and fast that stuff plugs up like that versus this. So that's why we do that. All right, now, if you're still not wanting to go out and buy the expensive sandpaper and you have some cheap stuff and you want to make it last a little bit longer during the sanding process, you can just get yourself a thing of soapy water here. Just water and soap. Quite simple. And go ahead and wet down the surface you're sanding. You're going to want a rag to kind of wipe off the areas you've sanded and, see how your sanding is going. And we'll just show you here on the good sandpaper. We can go along, sand some things, like before. And, well, it doesn't come up nearly as bad. We can wipe it all off and, wet down the surface. And we're good to keep sanding. And the same kind of goes for this sandpaper here. If you don't want it to gum up like that, you can wet down the surface and it'll last you a little bit longer. Still not as good as the good sandpaper, but it'll get you by. And also, nice added bonus of watering down your, sanding surface. You keep the dust down. You don't have to worry about a mask as much or breathe in all those harmful, tasty chemicals and, sand and dust. And just provides a better sanding experience, I think, overall. You can wipe it off and see how it looks. Yeah. So that's kind of a little bit of bodywork and tips, I guess, for today. Hopefully we'll have more here in the future. If you like this stuff, let us know down in the comments what you want to see. And hopefully we'll keep showing you more and you'll like, subscribe, and follow and do all those other things. But until then, got some sanding to do, so stay tuned.